Hello, hello. My name is Beth Stanko, and you are listening to and perhaps watching Wisdom and Chocolate. So this is a really exciting day because, yeah, you're seeing my face. Like, what's up with that? And if you're not seeing my face, well, then you need to go check out YouTube because this is the first podcast that's being recorded with video. Who knew? Who knew we'd actually get to this day, right? Yes, this is what I look like. For those of you who have been following and listening all along and just not even realizing that there's an actual real life person back there. Yeah, this is me. This is me, people. And don't get used to this because I'm a bit of a chameleon. I look different just about every single day. So this is the way I look today. And every day will be, just a tad different. So what are we talking about today? Well, I've been doing a lot of, soul searching, looking at all of the products that I have out, looking at the podcast, looking at my blog. And I realized that in the scheme of things, it's kind of like when you have a house and you've lived in that house for 20 years. And every time a new thing comes in, you sort of put the thing away on a shelf somewhere. And then you get, 20 years along and you're like, you know what? It's time for a little spring cleaning. And then as you're doing the spring cleaning, you recognize, holy moly, I have like way too much crap everywhere. Like way too much. And you need to start chucking things and you need to start reorganizing things. And maybe things that had just a couple, items in them. Maybe it was like a shelf with like 2 books. Well, maybe that needs to have 20 books on it now. You know what I'm saying? This is what has been happening at bethstanko.com. There's been a lot of reorganization, a lot of redoing things, structuring, looking at things in a totally different way. And then mainly looking at my followers, recognizing which group of people tend to participate a little bit more and get a little bit more out of what I'm doing. And of course, when you've got a fabulous body of people who are following you and doing fabulous things with their lives, it does feel as though you should pay attention to that and you should be doing more for those people. So let me tell you what it is that I understand about my followers. I do have a higher following of men on social media than I do in in-person events and on podcasts, to be honest with you. So I don't want to just say, yo, dudes, no longer for you, man. Like you're on your own. No, still here. But I do recognize that the majority of my followers are women. And the majority of them are over 30. And I will say that like a huge majority of my followers are juggling. They are like master jugglers, but kind of like master jugglers who've been living with those juggling items for like 20 years. So you got to update, you got to clean house, you got to do things. So it's like family and work and social responsibilities and, all of that kind of thing. Redoing the house, doing the laundry, simple stuff all the way up to complicated things. My followers and I are juggling things all the time. And that juggling leads to overwhelm. It leads to a lack of motivation. It leads to us feeling completely misunderstood. And sometimes it even leads us to isolate ourselves. What? Which, by the way, does lead to all of those other things becoming a little bit more oppressive. And then I also realize that one of the reasons people come to me, they work with me individually, they listen to the podcast, they're doing things online, maybe they've been part of a membership that was going on for a while. Most of those people are coming to me because I've got some solutions and they're sort of common sense, right? It's like, if you are juggling and you've been juggling those same things for 20 years and you're feeling isolated and alone, it's time to put those items down and put them on a shelf. Like the common sense stuff, you know what I'm saying? So this week, we are going to be talking about that juggling thing. And the main, sorry, I'm like juggling things right now as I'm trying to get things done. But the main thing is we're going to talk about the overwhelm and the stress that goes along with juggling things, sometimes that have no purpose or meaning in your life anymore. What does that look like? What does it feel like? Where are you heading with that? We're going to talk about that. And that is part of the wisdom moment today. Woo! It's the wisdom moment because it takes a little bit of wisdom for you to slow down and take note, for you to, like I did, sit back and go, you know what? It's time for some change. It's time to clean house. It's time to add 18 more books to that shelf, right? Or it's time to get rid of all 20. This is the wisdom moment where you recognize there's a situation, you're looking for a solution, and you're here today because you're hoping to hear a solution, and I hope to be delivering one to you and for you. So I have been looking a lot online, listening a lot to other people who do what I do and all other people, people who just recording videos in their cars and whatever. And, more power to them because some of the most remarkable people do that and have the most incredible messages. But one of the things that I've been noticing a lot is this sense of overwhelm. And it's sort of like the new norm. And I know that a lot of things have been referred to as the new norm as of late. Trust me, I know that. But there is this element that is sort of constantly going in a lot of us. And it comes down to basically social media, the news, the way people are interacting with one another, conflicting views, conflicting people, dreams conflicting with your day-to-day stuff, right? It's all of these elements that seem to be butting heads with one another that are involved in our lives. It's, looking at that shelf, seeing the 2 books and going, I can't add 18. That's just insane. The bookshelf's going to be totally full. And I like open space next to my books. Conflicting ideas and how to get things done and how to take care of things. It's everywhere. And that constant bombardment of conflicting views and conflicting situations is just leading us down this path of constant stress. Constant stress. I know you know what I'm talking about. Because for the first time in many, many years, there are so many good things going on in our lives. And I'll talk about me for just a second. Money has not always been an elusive thing, nor has it always been something that has been right at my fingertips. Yes, I did live out of my car for a little bit back in Los Angeles. And, it's no fun. It's no fun to wonder, is everything going to be okay? Is my idea of okay and God's idea of okay the same? Because let's face it, he created caves and trees. And so maybe okay means go live in the woods, but that's not okay for me. You know what I'm saying? But you go through sort of the feast and famine, and then you get to times in your life like I'm in right now where there's a lot to be done. There are a lot of bills. There are a lot of things that need to be taken care of. But at the same time, I'm in a far better place than I was in that car. I'm in a far better place than I was when I was house sitting for people just to not have to sleep in my car, right? I'm in a much better place. And keeping my awareness around that is not super hard. But the stress of where I've been compared to where I am, the stress of all the other things that I was talking about, conflicting views, whether political or religious or whatever kind of view, the conflicting people. So, you think you're around reasonable people who attack you for things that make absolutely no sense. I have been on the receiving end of things like that. All of that kind of stuff. When those things are constantly there, even when you're in a good place, it still feels stressful. I'm living it. I'm living it right now, people. I am recognizing this constant feeling of I've got to do more. I got to take care of more. I got to, get people to understand my point of view. I need to serve more people. I need to. And the flip side of that is I'm not enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not taking care of enough. I'm not getting out there enough. Do you hear what I'm saying? You're not the only one. I'm there right with you. So what do we do? Because that's not sustainable. Stress, as we know, leads to health problems. Big deal health problems. As a matter of fact, a lot of times those health problems are like, your heart. No, we need hearts, right? Hearts are important. It's important to keep them as healthy as they possibly can be. So let's lower the stress. Because the stress not only leads to heart issues, it also leads to mental issues, anxiety. It leads to us sort of displacing our feelings and taking our anger out in ways that really don't serve us or anyone around us, right? Stress is not our friend. Stress is something that when it lives with us constantly, drags us down, slows us down, stops us from progressing. That is not what we want. What we want is to get over it. Recognize it, acknowledge it, absolutely. Honor it if you must, because sometimes honoring the thing that's causing you stress can give you understanding so that it's easier to let it go. And you might ask me, what does that mean? What is honoring stress? Well, that's sitting back and going, okay, I understand why you're here. I understand why you're here. I know why you came, why I need to think about you right now. I understand the purpose of you, but I'm done now. I'm done. It's time for you to go away. That's honoring the stress and letting it go. Acknowledging why it was important at the time, and then acknowledging you don't need it anymore. Now, there are many different ways of doing this. And some of the ways, if you've been in the personal development circle for a while, you've probably heard about them. It could be as simple as doing what I just said. Like literally just think about the thing that's causing you stress and going, okay, I'm done. Bye. Right? That could be a thing. Another thing is writing it down, burning it, letting it go. Another thing is having flowers. And a lot of my friends used to do this in Los Angeles, having like roses, have the roses represent things that are causing you stress and then throw them into the ocean, right? There are a lot of different ways to honor, acknowledge, and let go. But sometimes the stress is happening right now and you don't have time to go buy those flowers. And it's really hard to wrap your mind around honoring the thing that's causing you so much stress. How do you honor a situation where an entire family isn't getting along because they all have different political views? That's hard. Isn't it hard? Because not everybody wants to talk about their views. Some people want to yell them. Some people want to steamroll everybody in their path, right? And some people feel so uncomfortable they don't talk at all, so you never understand where they're coming from. Like all of these things, just super sad. And how do you deal with it at the moment? Simple techniques. Ready? Super simple. Breathe. I know that's one people just kind of roll their eyes. Okay, yeah, I'll just breathe. No, but here's the thing. Close your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. And then exhale through your mouth. Adds a lot of oxygen to your brain. What happens when that happens? You can think more clearly. You become more relaxed, more calm. Now, if you just do it once, probably not going to help a whole heck of a lot. It helps a tiny bit, right? But do it multiple times. And it doesn't have to be super audible, not like, it doesn't have to to be like that at all. You can just sort of, while other people are talking, right? And then coming from a place of clarity, because now you have a whole lot more oxygen in your brain, you can speak your piece in a calm, loving, respectful manner. That doesn't mean roll over and allow people to steamroll you. No, it means owning your opinion and giving your opinion without attacking anyone or devaluing what they believe. Breathe. Breathe. Another super thing that's helpful when you're overwhelmed is to hum. Believe it or not, humming is an amazing thing. Take it from a person who did damage their vagus nerve many, many years ago. And if you don't know what a vagus nerve is, I will give you a little lesson. The vagus nerve is something, it's a nerve that is in the back of your brain. And all the little arms of that nerve kind of go throughout your body and touch every major organ in your body. When you are stressed, you limit the vagus nerve's ability to keep you calm. So what happens when you breathe? It relaxes and it sends messages to your body. No stress here, you're good. When you hum, it tickles some of the nerve endings in your lips, in your neck, in your ears, believe it or not, and it helps to bring about a sense of calm. What? Seriously, I'm totally serious. Another little thing to add to that, and I mean, you could just hum, right? But another thing is putting your hands here and focusing your attention on the nerves while you hum. It's like magic. It's totally like magic. You might, if it's in the middle of a group discussion, you might want to like excuse yourself to the next room because that might look a little weird, but it is something in the moment that can help you. Another thing is tapping on your legs. Sounds simple, right? But just tapping on the tops of your legs while you're seated can help to calm you down. If you're doing it in a beat that resembles a heartbeat, that creates a sense or creates a situation of entrainment, and it helps to calm your heart down. And the people next to you who can hear the beat, they start to calm down too. You all entrain with the beat and everybody comes into balance that way. What? Seriously, little tricks which in the moment can help to relieve and relax you. So I'm going to take a little segue from that because as we know, this is called Wisdom and Chocolate. So we're going to talk about some chocolate right now. Let's see. I've got the paper. Oh, here it is. A cute little thing. That's what the wrapper sort of looks like. This is the Seattle Chocolate Company's Berry in Love Dark Chocolate Truffle Bar with chocolate dipped strawberries. For real, people. Oh my gosh. For those of you who are new to this podcast, let me sort of explain. So I do have a lot of desire to bring balance to people's lives. And it's not just about the mental balance. You need mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical bodies, energies inside of your body to come into balance with one another. When your mind is in overdrive and you do nothing to support the body sort of gets, not as active and you become out of balance. When you are doing things like eating, pizza, drinking Mountain Dew every single day, you are guaranteed to throw your body out of balance. Now, it's not that you have to stop having things that you enjoy, but there needs to be a balance in the good and the not so good, or the more nutritious and less nutritious stuff, so that you can keep your body in balance and keep it up to speed with your brain, because that brain is so flipping important. And we need to be exercising that all the time. And like I said, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, all of those energy centers of the body need to be in balance. And so one of the things that I like to do is give you healthier alternatives to some of the things that others might find not so healthy, like chocolate. And who doesn't love chocolate? I know some people don't, but trust me, most of the people who listen to this podcast do. And so this particular chocolate, and you'll notice too, when you're watching more regularly, that I tend to go with the dark chocolates because they're higher in antioxidants. They're a little healthier for you. And I have a sensitivity to milk. So I try to shy away from any opportunity to come across some milk. So in this particular bar, it's vegan, gluten-free, it says, but I have a little tag onto that, non-GMO, and the company is women-owned. It says that this chocolate is made at a facility that also handles wheat. So it's not, for some people who are super, super sensitive to gluten, might want to shy away from this one. But if you've got a mild sensitivity, should probably be fine. It does say no gluten on the label. So, but the most important thing to note about this is that it's super yummy. It's really, really good. Very good. It's not excessively creamy, like you might find in a milk chocolate, but it is really good. The flavor is delicious. And the fact that there's a little bit of strawberry in there, oh my goodness, just makes it. So I do recommend you try this particular candy bar. And the reason I chose this one for this podcast today is because I think that a lot of the chocolates that have fruit in them are sort of misunderstood. See how I'm pulling it back into our wisdom moment? Some of them, I think that the fruit is candied a little too much, so it doesn't really taste very much like the fruit that they are supposed to be. And I think that devalues the quality of the experience that you have. And when we can zero in on the essence of the fruit, when we can zero in on the reason why, in this case, we love strawberries, then we can amplify that feeling and choose to go a more natural, direct, concise route when we are choosing our chocolate and choosing our thoughts. See, it's important that you know what you're all about. It's important that you recognize when you're stressed. It's important you recognize when it's time to pull yourself out of a situation. All of these things help you to understand when you need to take action and when you need to stand back. And it's important that we take action in moments when we're feeling overwhelmed, when we're feeling stressed. Sure, the new norm. Okay, yeah, everybody seems to be stressed, but should we settle for that? Just because people call it the new norm, should we allow it to be normal? I don't think so. I think normal should be actively taking charge of your reactions, recognizing that the way you react is totally up to you. You're the one who decides that. You're the one who makes a choice to follow your impulses. So why not make choices to breathe a little, hum a little, tap on your legs a little, write out what's bothering you and burn it up a little. Whatever the thing is, make sure that you recognize the moments when that new norm is messing with you so that you can overcome it. Now, there is a little book that I've finished reading it, but I've been thinking about it a lot lately because it's interesting. It's almost like the universe has sent out a message to all the younger people in my life, and many of them have been coming to me with questions about finances. And it just so happens I just read this little book called The Latte Factor. It's not like it's the best book I've ever read, but it has a lot of wisdom in it, and it talks about this woman who is very stressed all the time. It just doesn't feel like she has enough money ever, and she really wants to travel. She wants a different life than she has, right? And I'm just going to cut to the chase. Basically, what she's told is that money that you're putting into your latte every day, if you invest it differently in your life, you will gain freedom. And when you gain freedom, you won't have to take a more stressful job. You can gain the freedom to make different choices. And this is kind of the point that I want to bring across. Even though I'm not really talking about finances right now, I am just talking about being overwhelmed and stressed. You can take your attention away from the creamer and the sugar in your coffee and allow yourself to invest all of that energy into something that pleases you more. You have the ability to choose that. You don't have to choose to engage with the overwhelm. You don't have to choose to engage with stress, but you can choose to engage with something that is more fulfilling for you. You only are misunderstood if you're not paying attention to what it is that you need in your life. So there's something extra cute that I don't want to forget to talk about, which was inside the wrapper of this chocolate. Here to brighten your day, this cheerful truffle bar is designed to inspire random acts of chocolate. I love that! Inspire random acts of chocolate in your own life. It doesn't have to be an actual chocolate bar. I'm talking about the inspiration of relaxing, savoring the strawberry, right? Savoring the dark chocolate in your life, savoring the choices that you make that are more supportive and more uplifting for you. You are the one who's in charge. You are the one who decides how you are going to react. So take this moment today, and all the moments the rest of the day for that matter, to think about how stress and overwhelm is acting in your life and how you are reacting to those things. Then take a moment to figure out how you can isolate the good in those moments and change the way you see them so that you can react differently next time around. And with that, blessings to each and every one of you. I look forward to serving you a little bit of wisdom and a little bit of chocolate every week here on this podcast.